And we're off to a great start with Deantha. Just like the mining industry is off to another good start this year in this state. It has been a good year from everything that I've seen, the numbers I've seen. More than 5,500 direct and indirect jobs, $350 million in payroll for folks in 120 Alaska communities. You know these numbers better than I, but you are a pillar of this state and will continue to be for many years to come. You built this state from the ground up. Whether you're a placer miner or a big company employing lots of people, it takes all of you together to make this work, and I'm grateful for that. We have had so many years of opportunity here, and we've had some challenges in front of us too. We've overcome them, we've got more ahead of us. These national elections, I portend a little bit more of the same. I just was reading today that, and I don't know why this didn't happen before Tuesday, and I'm not gonna get partisan, but the Department of Interior just gave word that they are setting aside another 1.6 million acres in the West so that oil shale development in that area is going to be off limits. That's their proposed plan. And so we have got to take some steps to make sure that this does not continue in Alaska. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that because the prime topic for me and a prime motivator of our policy when it comes to mining is access. It's about access to our lands and access to our resources. When we became a state, it was about making sure that we could access those resources so we could make our way and create a growing economy here. We've got to have access. A key initiative of our administration, road access, roads to resources. We're making huge investments in roads and ports that will make material differences for you, creating new jobs for Alaskans by lowering exploration and transportation costs. We're pushing ahead on the Ambler Mining District. We're pushing ahead to the Ambler Mining District, the road to Umiak, the Nenana River Bridge. Road to Tanana is a high priority, and this fall DOT was able to brush out the length of this road to the Tanana River, creating some open space for years to come. Permitting reform. We know that you have had difficulty in years past in getting permits timely, consistently. We want to make sure that the rules of the road are clear and that you can get your permits timely. So from a budget, that's a good thing. So from a budget standpoint, we've added positions and people to reduce the backlog and more timely address your new applications. Legislatively, with your help, we passed HB 361 this year, and we're working on new legislation now to get ready for this new session that allows mining land and water to better and more efficiently address permits. In federal permitting, our office assists with simple federal permits, such as NIBLAC's special use permit to allow building helicopter pads. These allow for greater exploration. We've also helped with the Bocan special use permits. DEC, you may have heard from Commissioner Harding this week, has taken over the water discharge permitting program from the EPA. So folks, you don't have to go to Seattle for your permits. You can get them here. DNR, going back to these new people, new positions, new processes, has reduced its permitting backlog by 34% in the past year. This is a challenge we're going to continue to address, and if you see ways that we can improve our timeliness and the consistency of our reviews of your applications, let us know. We want to work with you. Office of Project Management and Permitting has been a real asset, and DNR is well on its way to automating some of its most critical permitting systems. So now to one of our favorite topics, these federal agencies. As they do continue to push the bounds of their legal authority. Take the EPA bonding issue, for example. They're making a grab for bonding of hard rock mining, and EPA claims it has the authority under our Superfund laws. We're fighting that, and so are 24 other states together through the Interstate Mining Compact Commission. Folks, we're not going to sit by and let the EPA gut our bonding system ourselves. We can do that. Then there's the Earthworks case. It's a Nevada case we joined, defining what a mill site is and how big your mill site can be. We're fighting that one as well, because if you cannot use adjacent lands for tailings, your project becomes undoable. I get that. We've got more than 1,000 federal mining claims that this one case can impact. The EPA attempted to short circuit our state's large mine permitting process. You all know what I'm talking about. It made a preemptive strike on state land and state sovereignty with the Bristol Bay watershed assessment in Southwest Alaska, all before the permits have been applied for. We find that unacceptable. We know that that action, EPA's action, threatens our own self-determination and our own permitting processes that they already have a hand in. It sets a dangerous national precedent. It threatens our state sovereignty over 8 million acres of our lands. We've got some of the best permitting processes in the world, and we're going to uphold them. On the other hand, we have plenty of reasons to be encouraged. And I saw on the tables the envelope for the Pacific Legal Foundation, because we actually have won in court against the EPA, joining others in the Sackett's case. We won decisively at the U.S. Supreme Court after joining in the case of Mike and Chantel Sackett against the EPA. We're also challenging the EPA and Army Corps of Engineers on their attempts to redefine or expand the definition of wetlands in Alaska. Alaska's fight against the roadless rule remains intact. We filed a quiet title action against BLM regarding the Mosquito Fork River. We've heightened our defense of Alaska's historic trails, RS-2477s. We will always stand up and fight for your right and every Alaskan's right to access our lands so that we can make our way and grow this economy. So like every good speech, let's take this one up. Let's look at the future, because we believe in Alaska's strategic minerals. That's why DNR will host the second Strategic Minerals Summit. This represents a huge opportunity for us and represents greater national security. Our first Strategic Minerals Summit last year was packed. The upcoming summit will highlight the great work state geologists and DNR are doing on our statewide inventory. Alaska is vastly underexplored, and there are still a lot of big deposits to be discovered out there, and we've asked DNR and funded DNR to do the work to do this assessment of our strategic minerals. As we wrap up or work towards a conclusion here, I want to say thank you to all of you for an area that doesn't directly make you think about mining, but it does make me think about Alaska. I want to say thank you for your work to increase oil production in Alaska, because that will make your lives easier if we have a growing state economy with more oil production. I will continue to make the case that in order to maximize Alaskans' interests in our oil, we need to unlock Alaska's potential. We're going to do that through tax reform, through a streamlined permitting process, and through the good old ingenuity and self-reliance of Alaskans who are willing to work hard for it. We are not fine with decline, not one of us. We are investing in energy, $1.6 billion alone in energy in FY12, just these last 2 fiscal years. We're investing in education, the workforce you need, whether it's use of the mine training simulator and the core driller program down at the UAS, or whether it's any other educational opportunity in this state. We're proud to be working in conjunction with you. I know Kensington and Greens Creek have been partners in training young Alaskans for high-paying jobs. Fort Knox and Pogo each gave $1 million in an endowment for UAF mining, engineering, and geology scholarship. And many others of you have contributed as well to building our great state through education. I want to end here by also pointing out that we not only look within the state, we look to our neighbors. I've met several times with the Yukon Premier as well as the BC Premier. And the Yukon Premier and I signed an agreement to grow collaboration in our mutual economic interests, including mining and workforce development. And recently, an appendix to that agreement was signed by the Yukon Minister of Education and the University of Alaska and the Commissioner of Labor to coordinate on mine training. So, you have had a great year. We just had an election in this state where we all together elected some new faces with some new ideas and a fresh way of looking at things. I'm excited about what we can do together as a state and in this legislative session. I'm excited about what you can do as an industry to create jobs and strengthen our families. So I want to say thank you for participating tonight. Thank you for the fundraising auction. Thank you, Alaska Miners Association, for welcoming me. And I look forward to a great relationship in the years to come. Thank you.